Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2. Well, we are exploring Nekataka, and there's some things down here I was going to see about exploring, and there is nothing down there that I need to worry about. So next is back up here.
The Queen is holding court today with the Valians and Rowatayans.
How long before they're killing each other?
Wager on it?
Alright, so we've got Sans' Map Emporium. I'm just exploring the outside for now. Let's take a look over here. We got anything that I need to worry about here? Yes, we do. Something to loot right up here. Little Paru clothing. Okay. Company guard. I don't think that didn't get me anywhere. Alright, I've looked down there already. There's the Bardatos, there's a couple of estates, there's the north exit. Let's go into the Wild Mare, because we've got a couple things to do there. Alright, let's go in here. Alright, so what do we got here?
Hail and welcome to the Wild Mare, friend.
A jovial man at the bar grins and motions you closer. His arms are corded with thick muscle and cross-hatched with scars.
Now, what can I do for you?
Alright. Show me what you have for sale. I'm looking for more intimate
You're
entertainment.
in luck, friend. The Wild Mare employs a number of courtesans skilled in satisfying a wide range of tastes and interests.
He throws you an exaggerated wink and points toward the stairs behind him. Hands on his hips, Seraphim grins, Shody kneels on her lips to hide a spreading smile, Aldoth gives you a pained look.
You'll find them upstairs. They handle their own coin, too, so no need to go through me.
Alright, so show me what you have for
anything
sale.
you like, let me know.
So we got resting. We've got adventurers we can recruit. We can recruit crew members. I'm not seeing any decent ones. Got a store we can buy stuff from. Don't see anything I need really. I can refill the ship supplies. I can't actually. I feel like I should rest, but not right now. Actually, we got wounds. Maybe I should rest.
Now, what, you see anything?
We'll rest in the backstage storage room, yes. And what that will do is hopefully that'll clear my wounds. Yes, that did clear my wounds. Good. Alright, so there's
my friend? Can you lift a sword?
Luca and Abaco.
My one solace from the tedious bureaucracy.
Alright.
Ado, my friend. I knew our paths would cross eventually.
A Valian shouts over the din of the Wild Mare to get your attention, turning a great many heads to study your exchange. He takes a hearty swig of his tankard. Do I know you?
Not yet, but I know that we will be fast friends. Tell me, you are the one who sails that fine ship, Huck? Terrorize the docks with spirits, Huck?
Leaning in close, he sips the tankard and loudly sucks moisture from his upper lip. Alright, RPG Crawler, Captain Define at your
I am
service.
Aboko, and I am positioned to offer... I have opportunities for...
He clumsily unfolds a sheaf of parchment. The tankard slips from his grasp and spills ale down the front of his trousers. He drops down at himself in horror.
1,000 times I practiced my speech. Mera, never did it go this poorly.
You were saying? You need this more than I do.
Aggressive. Do you know what my problem is, amigo?
He accepts the tankard and drinks deeply.
I am supposed to be in the business of giving bounties, but I know no one who hunts them.
He stamps his feet, kicking up a spray of spilled ale.
No one will unfurl their sail for my humble payments. But I must start from the bottom and work my way to the top, huh?
Right. What bounties do you have available?
You will take the job?
I haven't said so yet. I want to know what
take
you
the
got,
job.
dude. He grips you by the shoulders and smiles, tears springing to the corners of his eyes.
Agrasima. Something special for my first hunter, then.
He drains the tankard, then tucks it under his arm to retrieve a sheaf of notes.
I will start you on Marian, the mad animancer. She tortures her victims with unspeakable treatments before casting what's left to Berath's will. My contact saw her leaving Port Magi and heading west of Magi Island.
Okay, before I go, I head... Alright, west of Magi Island.
Agrasima, you have but to ask.
You seem down on your luck.
It is true that I have stumbled in my career path.
Abaco clears his throat.
Now that I have such an accomplished hunter, I can stand in the long shadow of your success.
Traps you on the shoulder.
It's not all bad, but the momentum of meeting new clients over drinks and in such enchanting company, it drains the stamina, my friend.
If you say so, my dude. Alright, what else is out here? There's Captain Ridora. That's the one I need to talk
Where in the
to.
blazes is that old man?
Alright. A young woman lingers near the stage with a mug of ale clutched tightly in her hands. Though she shows no interest in the dancers, the bags beneath her eyes speak of many long nights spent drinking in the tavern. She looks lazily about the room until her gaze alights on you with interest.
Have you seen an old elf hanging around here lately? Dresses funny, probably drunker than an eel in a barrel of mead.
No, I can't say I have.
Andrus crushing void, I thought as much.
She sighs heavily and pinches the bridge of her nose.
Listen, the guy I'm looking for owes me a lot of money. 5,000 coppers. You help me find him, and I'll give you 20%.
Who owes you money?
The drunk old goat I was pestering you about, Oswald. Like the credulous fool I am, I gave him a loan, and he ran off before paying me back.
Alright. Sure, it's not like I got something better to do.
I can't thank you enough. No one's been willing to so much as tell me the date until you came along. The man I'm looking for, Oswald, was especially fond of one of the courtesans upstairs, Malice.
Alright.
Maybe you can get more out of her than I can. She refuses to speak to me.
I got a few
sneaky
questions
little
for you
cur.
first.
What do you want to know?
Who are you?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that. But hey, what the hell?
She rakes an impatient hand through her dirty hair.
I'm one of the countless minor nobles that litter the Deerwooden countryside. You know Admeth Hadret, hero of the War of Defiance? He's my great whatever.
So, what's the problem with that?
When people find out, they start doing weird shit. Calling me lady, opening doors for me, buying me drinks. Really, the title is a mockery. It means nothing to me.
What's your history with Oswald? She groans theatrically like she can't bear to recount the tale.
The man's a family friend. Has been for... well, must be 4 generations now. The perk of being an elf, eh?
And what does he owe you money for? She stares in the depths of her mug and sighs.
It's my fault, really. I should have known better than to believe that damned old drunk knew what he was doing. The man's a wizard. You understand, and a tinkerer. He convinced himself and me he could, with enough luminous adra, create a device that would
That
add years
sounds
to one's life.
useful.
Must have been a crock of shit, because one day he up and ran without a word of explanation or apology. I thought I knew him better than that.
Alright. Well, that gives me a lead. Let's talk to Ridora.
You say I cannot down the rest? Watch me, amico.
A Valian sailor raises her tankard and arches her back to invite a torn veil down her expectant mouth. Holding this pose with nothing to show for it, she taps the tankard's base and furrows her brow at his apparent emptiness. Her companion shakes his head and focuses his attention elsewhere.
Madico, it is no wonder I thirst.
As she wipes her mouth with the back of her hand, her eyes widen and meet yours.
Ado, why do you stare?
You don't seem to be having as much fun as the rest of the clientele.
The fun ran dry with the coin.
She manages a wan smile.
When the dancers see more than an empty purse, I will be a content Randolph.
She sighs up at the stage. Give her some copper. Your next grog is on me.
Grassina. Even in the oasis I am parched.
She pockets the coins and glances past her to the bar.
If you grant wishes, there is a vacancy on my ship.
Ridora's frown cracks to reveal a shy
Yet
smile.
another reminder that not every seaworthy vessel be crewed up to the standards of the sorcerer.
He shakes his head. As the captain of the Defiant, I'm already taken.
Siente refredo.
Ridora inclines her head.
Next time around the wheel, perhaps.
Zamar sent me to collect your debt.
Merla, and he hired muscle.
Ridora takes a shaky step back.
Sientere, but you are too late to collect.
She holds out her palms and flinches at the blow that doesn't come.
A gang in the northern alley stole every coin. I cannot hire a crew, much less repay Zamar.
Zamar is having some pirate trouble. Could this gang be connected?
If they wanted Zamar to thirst for coin, it is possible. Botzos will regret it when I turn my cannons to their mast.
Ridora raises her empty mug as the bow is struck.
Those the cannons you'll be waiting for Zamar to cast you? Because I'd be seeing more holes in that plan than in any Principe Mast's future or no.
His green eyes pry at her from over crossed arms. Why don't you tell me what happens?
Wizard lights drew me like a moth to the alley north of the wild mare.
Her eyes turn downcast.
The blow to the back of the head that followed, Merlight hurt.
She touches a spot behind her ear and hisses.
Then a wolf sat on my chest while a group of thugs went through my pockets.
A wolf?
It growled like a thunderstorm and drooled on my uniform.
Ridora pats a stain on her shoulder.
I stumbled back here and traded all I had left for the comforts of the mare.
Sounds like my quarrel is with this gang. Farewell.
When you got their leader, tell them Ridora sent you.
She raises her mug and winks. Alright. Let's go to the upper floor then. And loading screen. Alright, there's Ymir. Don't know about you. There's nothing that keeps me from looting this. Or this. Again, so many books. Alright. Hidden object. Oh. Nice. Yeah, okay. Money and Juana charm belt. I will take all of those and I will take a look in here. What's the charm belt do? Wayfarer, plus 15% stride and plus 1 survival. I will give that to you as your only belt. For the moment. For the moment. Alright, we're going to open this and come in here to loot this. I'm going to take this. There's Labuna. There's Malice. A young woman reclines on the cushions. A hookah hose held delicately in one hand. Eyes closed, she sings to herself. Her voice is soft and inviting. She doesn't move when she hears you approach, but slowly opens her eyes with a lazy smile.
Come, lay your head on my breast. I will read to you the work of my favorite poet, Skilber.
Tell me about you.
Yourself? It's futile to attempt to summarize the whole of a person in simple words. How to capture their dreams, the desires of another, their feel and taste. But I appreciate your curiosity nonetheless. I am an actor. Trained from childhood. Difficult for you to believe, I'm sure.
A teasing smile pulls at the corner of her lips. Her voice is wistful, almost melancholic.
My troop were my family, and we traveled the whole of the Adir Empire, performing the classic literatures to cheering audiences.
Sounds a pleasant life?
The work was good when the crowds were grateful, and their pockets swelled with coin.
She gives you a pained smile, looks away. Seraphine snickers quietly, thoughtful, Joey rubs knuckle around the edge of her jaw.
I found a more dependable application of my talents here. To touch the hearts of others with my voice. I could not give that up.
Okay.
Have you come to hear some verse?
Claude's looking for someone named Oswald. Sound familiar?
I'm sure I don't know who you're talking about. Now please leave.
What if he's in danger? Don't you care about his well-being? That's a diplomacy for. It's clear you care quite a bit for him. Let me help. She chews on a knuckle, brow furrowed, deciding whether she should trust you. Then she sighs heavily and gives you a sheepish smile.
Oswald has visited oft of late. He's a sentimental old man, and he longs for the words of our homeland, Adir. I would often read the old epics to him in their original El Dadiran.
Her eyes gain a distant, unfocused look, and a wistful smile spreads across her face.
He's grown paranoid recently, however, always muttering about the shadows following him and other such nonsense. It was quite unnerving, frankly. He came to me in a panic a few days ago and shoved his journal into my hands. He told me he'd be back for it, but I've not seen hide nor hair of him since. I wonder, perhaps his journal would help you find him? Here, take this key. You'll find the journal in my armoire.
Sure thing. That was easier than I thought. I'm gonna grab your clothes too, because I need them. Alright, what's that journal say? Oswald's journal. Dog. This afternoon I walked the streets of Nekataka and felt an unusual spring in my step. I cannot be sure if this fine weather of the archipelago or my great distance from the deerwood in that blasted Goose and Fox Inn that has gifted me this buoyancy of spirit. But I am grateful nonetheless. I have seen no sign of the girl, highly be praised. Gods be willing I have slipped her net at last. Mequinstog. The shadows are strange here, seeming to move of their own accord. As I passed from Queen's Berth to Pareki's Overlook this morning, I could have sworn I saw one turn to face me, then another. I fled the area as quickly as I could. And as far as I could tell, I was not followed. I have many enemies, as any man of a roguish, adventurous mien should, although none have cause to search for me here. I know these shadows must be but a trick of the mind, but still, I am uneasy. The next entry is written in a shaky, wild hand, clearly penned in great haste. Ritlingsdal. As I put me down to bed this evening, I heard a faint whispering beneath my window. I always leave it open to better catch the breeze, and thanks be to Hylia for it, or I might have been none the wiser. However, when I went to investigate, no one was there. And yet I know I heard voices. I may be old, perhaps even paranoid, but I am not crazy. I must leave this place with all haste. God's protect me in my flight. On the next and final page of the journal is the symbol of Vodka, a broken crown scrawled in a deep red ink.
Have you come to hear some verse?
What's your problem with Khan?
Oh, her. Yes, she is persistent, isn't she? She barged in and began asking me all sorts of inappropriate questions about my cousins. She grew incensed when I asked her to leave. She's no longer welcome in my room.
Annalise wrings her hand and looks away. Her gaze settles on her armoire.
I do hope she's not a friend of yours. Her manners are atrocious. Farewell.
No, that's all right. Best tavern in the city. None better than Gentle's Dancers. Alright, let's go down these stairs. I will report back to her real quick. See if she has anything to say about this.
Have you got any leads on that mad old goat yet?
Here's the journal. Khan flips through Oswald's journal and stops and looks at me, eyes wide. Someone has hastily scrawled the broken crown symbol of Wodoko across the last page. Khan mutters to herself. She traces the symbol with her finger and frowns.
Oh, Oswald, you really stepped in it now, haven't you? Getting mixed up with Woodikins? You damned old fool.
She shakes her head sadly and closes the journal with a snap.
Where could they have taken him?
She chews on her lower lip with uneven teeth and mutters to herself. You must have sailed through half the Deadfire to get to Nekataka. Anything catch your eye?
Not really. To be honest, I spent most of the trip out from Defiance Bay, bent over the bulwark, giving Andra a taste of my innards. I hate boats.
You and me both. Khan laughs a little, mostly to herself. She seems to only half hear you, her thoughts wandering elsewhere. Everybody seems to enjoy that.
Damn, if only I could find that captain who gave us passage to the Deadfire. Bet he'd know. Wait a tick.
She blinks, remembering.
When our ship neared Nekataka, the bosun told me about a weird temple on an island in the Karatapu Channel, southwest of the city.
So to the
Couldn't tell me
southwest.
what it was for, though. Got real spooked when I asked.
Weird temple? Sign me up.
Go take a look then, and let me know what you find.
She marks the location on your map with a flourish.
With any luck, you'll catch the old goat there in one piece, and we'll both leave here with some weight in our purse.
Yep.
Ahoy, Captain. If I could bend your ear a moment, I'll be aiming to thank you for bringing me aboard.
A furred hand at his belly and one heel out, he bows deeply, drooping ear almost touching the ground.
You run a tight shop, and You ain't no terrible person, neither. It'd be a welcome change from the gentleman of leisure.
You're welcome.
I've a gift for you. This trinket be from one of the first ships I hunted. Malnage would have snatched it had I not found the perfect hiding spot.
So, where did you hide it? Thank you for the gift, Seraphim.
You be entirely welcome. Now, if you'll pardon me, I've round about reached my limit for sentiment.
Seraphim salutes, grinning broadly, and turns away. I've got Cypher Shackle. Which gives +1 Constitution and resistance to Dexterity afflictions. Which is something I'm going to throw onto somebody. I just haven't decided who yet. I may throw it right back onto him. Boom. Here, you enjoy it.
Not a bad bit of tackle, Cap.
Alright, well, I'm going to head out. And we go around. An alley north of the Wild Mare. But there is no alley per se, is there? I mean, is this the alley? Alright. Well, I'll tell you where I'm going to go next is I'm going to go to the Map Emporium. See if I can get any maps. Or if there's any work for me. Trap detector. Oh, this guy's got all kinds of like hidden areas in here. There's a dog.
That's unusual.
Dude's got a trapped chest right there.
Oh, hello. Welcome to my shop. It's such a pleasure to see a new face.
Sansa balances back on his heels, a wide grin plastered across his worn face.
How might I assist you?
What do you do here?
Oh, I am a cartographer. I make maps. I'm not half bad at it either. And may the gods forgive my immodesty for saying so. If you need a map of any settled region of the Deadfire, I am your man. And my commission rates are quite generous. It used to be I would take to the sea and do a bit of charting myself. But I haven't the time. Too many maps need making. A shame, too. There's a whole swath of the Deadfire I've yet to see. I'm quite keen to write a book, in fact. Oh, but I won't trouble you about that. Excuse my nattering on, won't you?
Right, do you sleep here?
Sometimes.
He's got a bed back there. He touches his hand to his forehead and blushes scarlet from his neck to the tip of his ears.
Married to the work, you know? I just get so engrossed in my maps. And next I know, it's morning. Sharing a bed with a few maps is a good sight better than sharing with Caleb, I'll tell you that. He always hogs the blanket.
Nice
you
dog.
Think so? He is a magnificent beast, isn't he?
Sansa's face splits into a broad grin, bright enough to light the nether.
He's been a bit low lately. Between you and me, I think he's heartsick for the sea.
You said you're writing a book?
I'm putting together an explorer's account of the Deadfire. Or at least the part of it Queen Onekaza's tribe has laid claim to. My book will be the first of its kind. The Explorer's Club will go mad.
What will you say?
Or, well, that was the idea. It's a fiercely dangerous enterprise, in point of fact, and nobody will agree to chart the islands.
I'll chart them for you.
You'd think ship captains would be a bold-hearted bunch. I offered fair recompense.
Sansa folds his arms, sighing.
I'm not exactly the most powerful fighter, or I do it all myself. Still, wouldn't it be wonderful? An explorer's guide to the Deadfire.
If it pays, I'll take the job.
Do you mean it? This is... Wow! I can't thank you enough. It's a lot of ground, I mean water to cover, and some of these islands are in very dangerous waters.
So I understand. Despite his words, a gleeful expression in Sansa's word isn't. Her face is not faded.
Don't worry, I planned it all out. We'll get your feet wet first. With a little experience under your belt, I'm sure you'll get a taste for it. Nothing will stop us. I mean, you. The idea is to explore all the islands that haven't been charted yet, or even named. That falls to you, amigo. You can't tell me you've never wanted to name your own island. I thought we could start with the waters around the company outpost at Port Mage. There are 2 islands in the
I think I passed one.
Nobody's taken much notice of them yet. Once you're back, I'll start filling in my map and adding your findings to the book. Oh, this will be wonderful.
Okay, no problem. Explore the uncharted islands on Port Maja. And a lot of things are sending me back towards Port Maja, which is just fine with me. Just fine indeed. I have no reason to go into the estate. I do have reason to come over here.
Of a brother?
Hey,
You there? Have you seen Laro Badato? Madico. Where is that spoiled brat?
A woman in fine clothes clutches a ledger in both hands. She searches the faces of passers-by, settling on yours with an uncertain frown. What seems to be the problem?
Laro is past due for a company meeting. Mother wants me to drag the elusive louse back by his ear.
She tucks the book under her arm.
Must be nice to be a layabout. Uncle Angbert would have tanned my hide.
Adair nods in agreement.
Fuck. I am angry and jealous in equal measure. You'd think this district was a maze, the way he manages to hide.
She glances over your shoulder and sighs and looks back at you with sudden recognition.
Fuck. A face from the motherland is a welcome sight.
I am from Old Valley.
If you desire to get in the graces of the Valiant Trading Company, we can help each other.
Okay, how can I help?
Could I persuade you to watch out for Laro? I'd pay generously for your trouble.
Study her hands. Nara has been digging her nails into her ledger, leaving crescent moon-shaped impressions in the binding. She knows your interest and holds the book protectively close.
I'm concerned because Laro tends to feud with Orso, one of the local Valera rats.
All right. What do you mean by Valera rat?
The Valeras. A brood of sea vermin playing at nobility.
She hefts her ledger as if to bring it down on a pest.
We squabble and compete, but Laro, the Pastenago, takes it too far.
If I happen upon Laro, I'll let you know.
Would you? I'll be waiting at the estate in case he happens to return.
Nara thumbs over her shoulder.
Laro and his miscreant friends carouse at the tavern, the falls above the Adra Mill, and the southwestern bridge.
Okay.
If you see him, tell Laro to get his good-for-nothing ass back home.
If I remember right...
We do have this thing with chasing a rogue god to the ends of Aora, but I guess if it's on the way...
Well, first we're going to go back here. We're going to talk to Wanaka.
Well met, stranger. If you feel like investing in protection, I'd be willing to trade iron for copper.
The armor presents you with a friendly smile. Your section fine, but I'm looking for you in better
I
equipment.
assure you that everything I sell is well crafted. But I will admit I'm not quite the weaponsmith that Marihi is. Nor do I possess Uto's expertise with firearms. Marihi you can find in Periki's Overlook, the district to the north. Uto has a shop in the Brass Citadel, in the eastern part of Nekataka.
Let me see what you have.
Lots to see. Take your time.
Alright, so we got Heaven's Cacophony, which gives you... it's a headpiece. Wow, it's 10 grand. Avenging Storm. Once per rest, cast. Extremely loud attack targets for electrical damage. Basically creates a storm for 2 rounds. Horns of the Bleak Mother. Gives you perception and resistance to resolve affliction and plus 10 accuracy against beasts. Gate Crashers, plus 1 might, 15% chance to perform a knockdown against a target with critical hits and melee, as well as Reeling Blow. Now, what does Reeling Blow do? Gives you a 1 per rest cone that stunned people for then we just got our basic stuff. Oh, there's a wolf, I think. Yeah, there's the wolf. I'm gonna quick save the game.
So she asked you the one causing trouble in Cotter's neighborhood?
The wolf at this man's side raises her hackles and growls. He shushes and pats her behind the ears, all the while keeping his focus trained on you.
I thought Rimaro's pup kept better company.
Kota glances at Seraphim.
Ahoy, friend. So you still be doing that old referring yourself by name thing? Would have thought it have cost you enough lays by now to be drinking that affectation.
Seraphim.
Cotter has
Oh
not
gosh.
missed the sound
This
of
is so
your
good.
voice, Seraphim. Your smoke and mirror ghosts do not impress Kaletzia, and they do not scare Cotter.
A line of drool drips down between the wolf's bared teeth.
Sorry, Valian names all sound the same to me. Which one is the pretty wolf?
You'll know soon enough.
Smoke and mirrors? I think not. Kota's eyes snap open the instant he grows aware of the many forms thronging you. The moment passes as you dispel them from view.
Goblanka. Cotter does not doubt his eyes. What do you want?
Okay. Someone robbed Captain Ridora. You have anything to do with that?
Depends. You seeking Vengiata for that house?
Signaling to his mates, Kata tightens his grip on the wolf's scruff. She owes money to Zamar. Money I need back.
Cotter heard a newcomer was talking with Zamar.
His free hand moves toward the weapon slung on his
Don't
belt.
play, Cotter. Let's be keeping this a friendly fucking chat. Lest the captain be calling your raise.
His furred hands rest near his own weapons.
Look, Selezia. Your supper comes with blue fur.
He nudges the wolf, lifting a deep
Tell
growl.
the shipwright to accept Cotter's deal before he suffers another setback.
Alright. What's in it for me about brokering an agreement between Runes and Malice?
Cotter will see that his casita knows your name. There's also a coin to spare. Ridora's coin. But she's too soused to miss it. And Cotter will get you the Principe discount on Zamar's goods. Deal?
I'll hammer out the details with this bar.
Gelarde, here's an advance. Go tell Zamar the good news. Cotter will handle the rest.
Yeah, my dude. Don't make me come back here. I will open you up. I'll rob all this stuff on here too. The hell is up here?
Sorry, friend. I can't.
Passers-by have etched a varied selection of raunchy poetry and crude drawings in the brickwork. Okay. Well, we gotta go over to Zamar. See what we can do. We'll avoid a fight, I guess. Here we go.
Ahoy there. Any news worth telling?
I spoke to the Principe on your behalf.
Actually confronted those feral cats?
Yep.
Cool, cats be sacred, shipboard, you know. Wouldn't have taken you for one to be painting the Principe all godly.
Seraphim smirks, arms akimbo.
Folks shoreside sometimes stick 'em in the stew pot. See if that strikes you for something weighty.
Zamar rolls his eyes. He crosses his arms and looks past Seraphim to you. Kata's not a bad guy. His wolf is cute.
What's a wolf, really, but a dog that ain't been pet enough?
You're siding with that crook? I needed coin, not a middleman to negotiate with cutthroats.
He pulls a small flintlock from his belt and holds it pointed at the ground. You underestimate how hard the Principe work to make cooperation your only recourse.
That doesn't make it right.
His grip on the gun squeezes
I won't
tighter.
be held down by schemers and killers.
You're meant to take this deal before they offer a worse one. His chest rises and falls with heavy breaths as he lifts the gun halfway.
It's between my life and my dignity.
Gritting his teeth, he thumbs the hammer down and tucks the firearm back into his belt.
Principe have their shipwright, and may Andra take them for it.
He grabs a fistful of his beard and grunts, pulling away a few strands of hair. Opening his palms, Zamar lets them drift away in the wind. Well, that wasn't great, but...
If you told me a few years ago that I'd end up following you on another crazy errand, I'd have said you were out of your mind.
He gives you a dismissive gesture with his pipe hand.
Not because I got anything against you, more that trouble seems to come looking for you wherever you go. Yet, here we are again, probably on our way to die. Well, you already did, but me, I mean...
He cocks his head to one side and smiles. I couldn't go having all the fun by myself.
Well, real nice of you to share. Someday I'll have to get you a gift.
Sorry, Adair.
You know it this time is shaping up to be crazier than the last one.
There's something accusatory behind Adair's eyes.
But I gotta say, I appreciate how you've handled things. Times like these, staying decent's not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah, I'm trying, my
Thought
dude.
you were weird at first, of course, but you've surprised me.
No point to any of this if I have to sacrifice my beliefs.
There's something to that. I like to think I'm the same way. Except I chose to believe in the goodness of a giant statue that kills everything it passes.
He scrapes his teeth over his lower lip.
Sometimes I have second thoughts about that.
Just sometimes, dude?
I've been meaning to ask, though. How is it you never seem to lose your way through all this? What is it tells you you're on the right path?
I believe in helping people need it, sometimes more complicated, but often it's not. If I'm truthful with myself and others, I find that things tend to work out.
Well, hard to argue with that. And I might get some strange looks if I did.
Adair heaves a sigh that sounds as if it's been building up for months. His smile is tight-lipped, whispering.
When I was a boy, things were simpler. Aethys was more like a character we read about in church.
I could see that being an improvement.
Well, just about anything would be at this point. Well, most stories had him helping folks or making the world work as it should.
He adopts the smile and gently pointed finger of a coaxing parent.
You pray to him. He might help you, too.
He lets his finger drop and the smile fade.
There was no cost to it. No confusion about his will or followers taken into extremes. Following Aethys was right. I had no reason to question.
He pauses. It could be the light, but the creases around his eyes and mouth seem longer and deeper than your memory of them.
Do you think there's any way that following him could still be the right path? After all we've seen?
I honestly don't know.
I guess we'll see what he has in store soon enough. If we make it that far. Anyway, I didn't mean for this to get depressing.
That's alright, Adair.
This is just a long way of saying I appreciate the way you've guided things.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
Makes me feel like I'm doing some good going with you.
He shakes his head with a look on his face that, like he just remembered a joke.
Happy to oblige. All right.
Well, it's good to know that people keep chatting me up and that they seem to be mostly agreeable with what I do. Alright, let's talk to this dude. Oh, he's gone. Hold on a second. That's not what I need. Need to find that. Alright, well, that didn't give me anything. Well, let me talk to Remora, I guess. Although I don't think that's going to get me anywhere. Let's go... this way.
Have you heard about the commotion at the palace?
Of course. Something about Luminous Adra.
Someone's coming! I'm gonna quick save the game.
All I know is that they're all at each other's throats up there.
Alright, so there's a duel. Against a backdrop of the jeering youths, a young woman raises her arms with an air of practiced drama. Before her, two men stand across from one another, mirroring scowls.
You both attest that you have made all possible efforts to come to a peaceful...
The woman trails off as you approach, and you find yourself the sudden target of the crowd's attention.
Who is this Nasenale? How many cousins do you have, or so?
Laro chuckles. Orso glares at Laro and bites back whatever insult he had at the
We
ready.
have business. What do you want?
Business, please. I know a formal challenge when I see one, and that's due to my aristocracy, right? Yeah.
What's your words of? You want the Juana to know we're dueling?
Seraphine's eyes close as he nods along. Thoughtful Jody rubs a knuckle along the edge of her jaw.
My bad so to the drivers. We should be free to settle matters on valiant terms.
Orso glances in your direction with annoyance.
Small wonder the old empire collapsed in civil strife if this is the Valian way.
He sneers.
How do your colonies fare?
Orso narrows his eyes at all. Laro, what say you?
We are civil enough to kill each other without making an incident out of it.
I suppose you have a good reason for this duel?
This street thug called my family a warren of corrupt inbreds. But is there a dung heap in all the world that does not have a little Valera cousin scratching through it?
Lara opens his arms wide and smiles to the milling crowd.
That wolf he calls mother would have us live out our days polishing Bardato City.
Orso spits at the ground between them. Is this slight worth one of your lives?
Hack, this is but one chapter in a long anthology of Bardato arrogance.
Arrogance? Per complancanet, you should thank me for my patience.
Surely there are better alternatives.
Nothing less than the total disgrace of the Valeras would satisfy me.
Apparently not.
Then you will die unfulfilled.
Okay, anyone can kill. Fighting to first blood would be enough to prove who's the better man. The pair of duelists eye each other warily.
I was the one who suggested fisticuffs, but you were eager to cut me open.
To first blood, then. Shall we resume?
Alright. The duelists square off and tentatively circle each other. Stocky Orso moves with heavy strides while Lara takes precise, measured steps. The duelists square off and tentatively circle each other. Stocky Orso moves with heavy strides. Okay, about that. Onlookers gather and press the edges of the poorly defined arena. Their jeering lowers to expectant mutters. The duelist seconds bring forth their weapons. Take the opportunity to study each of the opponents. With a watcher-only check. You note the sweat on Lara's upper lip and the furrow concentration cleaving Orso's brow. Find a better vantage point. It's a watcher-only check now. I'll wait quietly for now. Once the swords are delivered to their respective bearers, the seconds back away in melancholy silence. The duelists cross their swords and bow in salute. The tranquil moment ends in a burst of motion. Despite their difference in size, the duelists seem evenly matched. Orso doesn't settle on an established form, but keeps pace with Lara's aggressive strikes. Watch a little longer. Orso and Lara trade fierce jabs, giving up any pretense of playing to the crowd. A hard downward thrust sends Lara's blade clattering to the ground. Orso hovers over Lara, grins slowly taking form. He raises his blade and points at his opponent's heart. It's supposed to be a fight to first blood, but mercy is the farthest thing for the mind of the combatants. Resolve. Stop. Okay, we can go with resolve or cast a shield around Lara. A glowing arcane shield manifests around Lara. When it fades, Orso shrugs and slices Lara across his cheekbone. Lara falls to his knees, clutching at his face.
Not so pretty anymore, Poster.
Orso wears an accomplished grin. Congratulations. Lara, go find your sister so she knows you're alive.
This does not end here, Valera dog.
Lara wipes away a line of blood and casts it to the ground.
Just make sure the other Bardatos learn.
Orso nods and signals for his attendant to depart. Well, that was that. And I gotta investigate the feud. Is there anything up here? Yeah, is there anything I need to sneak around and look for? No? No? Okay. Man, I am still in this part of town. Let's go back to the, this area here, I guess. Although, I guess before I get involved in anything, I'm going to go ahead and call it here, and we'll go ahead and investigate the next episode. For now, it's been the RPG Crawler with Pillars of Eternity 2. If you like what you see, remember to leave a like, comment on your feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. Until next time, take care and goodbye. And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribestar, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.